I'm Stuart Barron. I'm the president of DCAD, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome you and at this exciting day for Wilmington and for the state. I'll tell you a little bit about DCAD first, and if this is one of the first times you've been here, or the first time, that's unfortunate. A lot of good things happen here. We've got some wonderful students, we have wonderful exhibitions, and our students really make a difference to downtown Wilmington. I can say that with great certainty. The school is a special school. We're the only nationally accredited School of Art and Design in Delaware. We have students who transfer to the best art schools in the country after they do 2 years here. And when they're here, they do remarkable things, as you'll see a little later on. Our students tend to come and stay. Our retention rates are exceedingly high. That shouldn't sound like a negative, because they're just out of sight. If we could package our retention rates, we would never have a care about money again. Everybody would want them. Students come and they work hard. Our students work as hard as any students I've ever seen anywhere, and the results are always there for them. Now, I would like to introduce the governor to talk about the exciting things that he's bringing today.
How many of your students live downtown? Most of them live downtown? Stuart was just saying also 160 of their students live downtown, which I think is terrific. It's exactly the kind of thing that we want more of here in Wilmington. Great to be with all of you. Thank you all for turning out. Great turnout. I want to thank the members of the General Assembly who are here, Senator Henry and Representatives Bolden and Johnston and Keeley. Thanks to all of you for your continued strong advocacy on behalf of the city. I want to thank members of the Council, President of Council Theo Gregory, and Councilwoman Shabazz and Councilman Brown. Thanks to all of you as well. I also want to thank Anas Benati, who is the head of our State Housing Authority right here. And I also want to thank Andy Lipstone from my office. Andy is the lawyer, head lawyer in my office, who worked really, really hard on putting this plan together. So we have a lot to be proud of in Delaware in terms of our economic progress. We have, for the last year, we've had the 4th fastest job growth in the country. It's exactly the kind of momentum that we want to build on. It's also the fastest on this side of the Mississippi River. We also have more Delawareans who are working today than at any moment in history, which is also really important progress. And unlike the national trend, our labor force, the number of people who are working and looking for jobs, is actually growing, whereas in many cases a lot of people have dropped out of the looking for jobs. So it's an economy that is growing, but it's also an economy that is changing, and I think in order to keep our momentum, we have got to adapt to some of those changes. And we are here because we recognize that much of our future growth is going to be determined by how vibrant our downtown areas are. And that is what this is all about. You know, in the 60s and 70s, we saw a lot of out-migration from the cities to the suburbs. But over the last 10 years or so, we've seen a real influx around the country of people moving from the suburbs back into the city. And this is great for our cities. We want to see more of this. And I think it's incredibly important that our cities be dynamic, be vibrant, be places where people can live, can work, can eat out, and do all the things that they want to do. So I really believe that we are up to this challenge and to making this vision real. So this Downtown Development District Initiative, which we launched months ago at the Queen Theater here in Wilmington, but we celebrate today, has generated a lot of enthusiasm. It was fully unanimously endorsed and supported by the General Assembly. It was fully funded by the General Assembly. And since June, we received impressive proposals from cities and towns throughout the state, hoping to designate their downtown areas as these development districts. 9 municipalities applied, which I think was pretty significant given how labor-intensive the application process was. Now, Wilmington's plan would effectively build on downtown revitalization efforts that have been already underway. And those efforts, by the way, are amazing. I mean, if you think about where Wilmington was a decade or 15 years ago, just, lower Market Street, so many places that were boarded up. Now, fully rented, good rents. Obviously, what's happened at the riverfront is incredible, with more units going in and hundreds of additional units already planned for Wilmington. So a lot of progress already underway. And the plan that Wilmington submitted for this downtown development district would build not only on all of that, not only through projects proposed for the Market Street corridor, but also by investing in neighborhoods to the east and to the west. And so it gives me a lot of pleasure today as we celebrate the official designation of Wilmington and its downtown development district, and that deserves some applause. So along with Dover and Seaford, and I was there the last 2 days, I knew the mayor was going to be here. I knew he was coming. Wilmington presented detailed strategies to strengthen neighborhoods, to spur private investments, and to improve housing opportunities for residents from all walks of life. So applications were evaluated by the Cabinet Committee on State Planning, and they used three criteria. The first was need and impact. The second was the quality of the plan itself, and the third were the incentives that were offered at the local level. Now, in Wilmington, the need for these incentives is clear. In the census tracts that make up the downtown development district, Wilmington's poverty rate is 33%. It's the highest of any applicant and significantly higher than the state average. The housing vacancy rate, 18%, and it has the oldest housing stock of any applicant, with 57% of all structures built before 1950. Now, I am pleased as well that the city offered a solid package of local incentives, including a commitment to guarantee 72-hour review and a 45-day permitting approval for permit applications in the downtown development district area. The city also committed to providing a 50% match for architectural and engineering work for smaller projects. And as I emphasized at our announcements in Seaford and in Dover, we want to see the state money result in new activity as quickly as possible. So it's important that Wilmington had committed a number of projects that are ready to take off, from East Side Rising to new residential units on Market Street to a potential transformation of the Creative District. The city's priority projects have the potential to improve housing and quality of life in each of the neighborhoods that comprise the downtown development district area. And the main point that I want to make is that although this is a state program, this is Wilmington's plan. And on behalf of the state, I look forward to working with the city and to working with many of you to bring the plan to fruition. So where does the process go from here? First, the State Housing Authority is going to release an application for developers to apply for grants that will support building and construction costs within the district. The grants are modeled off of a highly successful program in Virginia, which leveraged a relatively small amount of state money into a much bigger amount of private money that was invested in those towns. Now, in Virginia, this was only available for commercial properties. Here, they're going to be available for the development of residential, of commercial, of mixed use, not-for-profit sites, and not-for-profit sites. And investors who make qualified real property investments in a downtown development district will be entitled to grants worth up to 20% of their costs in excess of the first $25,000. And the Delaware Community Investment Corporation is working with the State Housing Authority to make funds available at the beginning of the process rather than a rebate upon completion. And the application from the State Housing Authority is going to be available in the next week or so, and a frequently asked questions document is available today. It's actually, there is a chair just behind where Theo Gregory is sitting, and the frequently asked question document you can get when we're finished up here. Now, I've also instructed all of our state agencies to look for opportunities to offer additional incentives and to prioritize work in the downtown development district areas, because defraying the development costs should not be the only piece of our plan. So in the days to come, we are going to release information that includes a point of contact for each agency and potential opportunities for additional support. And it's not as though every agency's efforts are going to be relevant to every project or to every district, but we want Wilmington and the other winners to explore the full range of possibilities. So let me conclude with this. There is no single solution to all of the challenges facing our urban areas, but my administration is absolutely focused on a number of ways to give our cities the best possible chance to thrive, and we have more to do. But these downtown development districts are a key part of the solution. And with the support of the city and its residents and the business community and the not-for-profit community, I know that we can generate a surge of real estate investment, cultural developments, business activity to jumpstart progress in areas that have for too long really been overlooked. And as I said when we launched the program, this is not going to be easy, it's not going to be fast, but the urban revitalization we hope for can absolutely happen here. So I look forward to working with all of you. And what I'd like to do now is ask Mayor Williams to come up. I appreciate the time and effort that he and his team and council put into this application. If Mayor, you come up and say a few words, and then I'm going to ask the members of the General Assembly and members of council to say a few words as well.
Well, first of all, I want to say good morning to everyone. And I hope that everyone in this room is not going to let a newspaper determine the destiny of this city. This city is doing great things, and we're moving forward. And we have a great team building with business corporations. We're working together. And I am visible. I'm here today. People say I don't show up. I think this is me, isn't it? Yeah, I am here. I truly want to say thank you to the governor and the General Assembly. But before I think we need to go into a lot of discussion, I want to thank Lenny Sofford, and I want him to come up, because he did all the work for the city of Wilmington. Come on up. And I want Hanifa Shabazz to come up, because she worked with us very close on East Side Rising. I want everybody to get their credit who's worked hard on this. And me and Councilwoman Shabazz, we don't get along all the time, but we do work together on issues that are very critical. And East Side Rising, I want to thank her, because she spent many a sleepless night working with us to get this working, and now we're seeing some results. I want you to make some comments too.
Well, thank you, Mayor. This is an exciting moment right now, and I don't want to take all the credit for East Side Rise, because East Side Rise is a community-driven initiative. This is an example of what, when the community comes together, you engage them, you educate them on how that they can use their own resources and talents. They know what they need to make their communities better. So the East Side Rise is an example of what, if you can engage and empower your community and your residents, of what they can do to revitalize the city of Wilmington. It's a holistic program. It's not just brick and mortar. There are components in it that ensure that the people who live there will participate. They will be trained. They will become some of the employees that works along with revitalization. They will be entrepreneurs that will be developed. There is a whole holistic approach of revitalizing not just brick and mortar, but the human stock, which is so important to the city of Wilmington. And that is what we know is the major, major cure for the crime that we have in our neighborhood. So I want to thank the governor and the state and everyone who made this possible for us to revitalize the East Side and all of Wilmington. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to just give a very short. Since October 2013, many of you who are sitting in the room representing corporations, state agencies, Riverfront Development Corporation, Downtown Visions, Wilmington Renaissance Corporation, neighborhood associations, and planning efforts that have already been underway for a long time, both in the west side and on the east side, have been meeting every week on Monday at 1 o'clock. And we've been collaborating on how to not only answer the questions that were posed when the governor and the legislature introduced the Downtown Development District, but how we're going to respond to the Delaware State Housing Authority's building block, strong neighborhoods applications, and continue to build a working relationship on a weekly basis through all of the involvement that you've performed so far. And council has been a particular, council has lent their support by sending staff to the meetings, and this process is going to continue on a weekly basis. And I think it's the best way that the municipality can communicate with the state and indicate what the priorities are from a planning perspective. Thank you.
All right, so with that, why don't we have Senator Henry kick off? We'll just go down the line, members of council as well. And while Senator Henry's coming up, I do want to thank Molly McGarrick from Congressman Carney's office, Bonnie Wu from Senator Carper's office, and Mike McGowan from Senator Coon's office for being here. Senator.
Well, good morning. I'd like to say thank all of you for coming today to be a part of this exciting opportunity. I'm very proud to have been the prime sponsor on this legislation, and I want to really thank Andy for all of the late nights we talked on the phone and the negotiations. There's one piece, there's an opportunity to use historic tax credits, and I think the governor, I know he knows that, but so that there's even another funding mechanism that can be used. But the most important thing is that this is about community, it's about housing, it's about businesses, it's about people, and I'm glad to see so many stakeholders here today because we all have a role to play in making our city a viable place, to continue to make it a viable place, right, Mayor? And so we all pledge to work together collaboratively to make this a reality. And I'm very, very excited as a city resident to see this day. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Helene Keeley. I'm a state representative obviously here in the city of Wilmington, 3rd District, predominantly the west side, but I do have a lot of downtown as well. As Margaret said, she was the prime sponsor in the Senate. I was the prime sponsor in the House for this bill. Couldn't echo enough the support from Andy and all the hard work he did. The mayor touched a little bit about some of the things that are being written nationally and locally about Wilmington. Yesterday, the General Assembly was sworn in, and my husband and I have a little bit of a tradition. Usually after the swearing in, we'll go out for a nice dinner, and didn't make any reservations or anything, but never really thought I had to. So it's 7 o'clock, Tuesday night, it's 24 degrees outside. We go to Lafayette, they have no tables. We go to Deep Blue, they don't have any tables. We go to Mickey Moto's. They have a half an hour wait. I call Harry's. Well, we just had a cancellation. Why don't you just come down? That to me sounds like a city that is on its way, that is moving forward. I mean, it was 24 degrees. It's January. And I know if I would have gone, usually we spend a lot of time on Union Street because I live on that side of town. And I know if we would have made the decision to go over there, it would have been the same. I think this redevelopment act is going to push us over the edge that we need. I'm not saying, and I'm not running away from some of the issues that we still have. They're very real. However, it's things like this, projects like this. Look at this room. I mean, we have 200 people in this room because all of you are dedicated to Wilmington. We're dedicated to Wilmington. And I know that in another year, 2 years from now, all those things that are being said are going to be faded memories in our mind. Thank you all very much.
Good morning. What a way to start off 2015, wouldn't you say? Is there some great news here for the city of Wilmington? I want to just touch on a little bit of East Side Rising. That is the 2nd representative district and the 3rd and 4th councilmatic district. And I want to say with Dr. Hanifa Shabazz and for Darius Brown, they have worked together collaboratively in terms of getting this done. Housing is very important on the East Side. The East Side used to be a place where lawyers lived, teachers, and mostly entrepreneurs. We had, on each corner, there was a business. So Most of you probably don't know about that, but we are natives here and we grew up here, so we know what the East Side was like and what downtown Wilmington was like. So this is giving us the opportunity, and I'm very passionate and emotional about what is going to take place. We're looking at development from 7th Street all the way to 11th, from Church Street all the way over to Walnut. When you look at all the vacant houses that are there on Kirkwood Street, Bennett Street, we just had a demolition last month regarding some of those that were put up before. So as neighborhoods come up, crime goes down, people come into the city, and they feel safe. But we have so many great things going on in this city that I want to concentrate on the positive and not always the negative. And if we could just get some publicity out there about the great things that are going on, for example, this particular building here, what's going to be here, the school, the students that are coming in, that are being housed here. These are the things that we want to keep going and put out there into the public. So I don't know if Reverend Keeley's here. Is he here today? He is a great a leader also in terms of getting East Side Rising going. Steve Martin, I know we've met and worked with all of them. So it is a great effort that everybody is putting in here. And I want to thank Dr. Shabazz and Darius Brown for all the work that they're doing and putting this together. And the small part we have is the General Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Bolden. Good morning. Representative Bolden asked me to come and stand beside her, and I had one thing to say. I agree with everything Representative Bolden said. Actually, I also like to thank Andy for the job he did as far as providing the information to the Joint Finance Committee, because a lot of the funding for this downtown development was a result of the mortgage foreclosure. And Andy had to come before the Joint Finance and present that proposal. And it wasn't easy. A lot of people didn't agree with the proposal, felt that the funding wouldn't be enough to do anything. But it was Andy's perseverance that changed all of our minds. And by the time he finally presented his proposal, we had a consensus. And I'm happy to be here this morning as a member of the Joint Finance Committee to say that I had some effort in convincing the other members to agree to this proposal. So thank you, Andy. You know, we met with the governor a week or so ago, and I say we, the Wilmington delegation, and the governor wanted to meet with us and wanted to know what can we do to help Wilmington as a Wilmington delegation. And when he asked me, the first thing I said, Governor, we need to accentuate the positive. And I think this morning's effort is accentuating the positive, just like Representative Keeley said, we have a lot of positive things here in Wilmington, and this is an effort to accentuate those positive things that we have. So thank you.
Good morning. I want to thank the governor and the General Assembly for this progressive program that they've put in place. It certainly is going to benefit the city of Wilmington and actually statewide because of the other cities that are participating. I want to also join my colleagues on City Council, Nifa Shabazz and Darius Brown, and all their hard work and expressing appreciation for this effort. And I also want to give a special thanks to Leonard Sofrin. You know, Leonard's been around for about two years now, and he's grown on me. He's like, he really is a good guy. Lenny works hard to keep us involved and engaged. And Lenny works hard to find out what does City Council want. What are you thinking? And there's just good discussion and debate with Lenny Sofrin, and I really, really appreciate Lenny's efforts in this regard. But the hard work starts now. You know, the devil's always in the details and in the execution. The plan is on the table. It's an excellent plan statewide, excellent plan for the city of Wilmington. I look forward over the next several years to participate in ensuring that the plan is carried out. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all to all of our elected officials. I want to highlight a particular part of our DDD plan, which talks about the east side of Wilmington, which is a combination of both the 3rd Council District and the 4th Council District. As many of you know, I believe that the 3rd District is the place where opportunity lives. And so DDD provides that opportunity for us, particularly around housing in the city of Wilmington, to create desirable housing, to create livable neighborhoods, lifelong communities where individuals at every stage of their life has a desirable housing stock for them to live in and to raise their children. Without DDD, without some of the misfortunes of 2007 and 2008, we would not be here today. But this is an opportunity for us to highlight the positive. It's an opportunity for us to look at the promises that our governor made to the city of Wilmington. And one thing that we can say about our governor is the promises he makes are promises that he keeps. And so with that, I look forward over the coming months to continue to implement the plan on the east side of Wilmington and also understand the connectivity of our east side initiative to projects in the 4th Council District with the Creative Arts District and how we connect all of those things centered around the strength and the investments that have been made in Wilmington's downtown. Thank you very much.
I want to thank all the folks from the General Assembly and the city, and very much appreciate the partnership between the city administration and the council in putting this together. One last thing, I want, as part of this effort, we thought it would make sense to work with DCAD to come up with a logo for the Downtown Development District effort, and I would like to introduce John Brakey, who is an instructor here at DCAD, to talk about that. John.
Thank you, Governor, legislators, and thank you so much for coming to DCAD to see us help in a small part to make this thing possible. This is just a small visual representation of a very deep and complicated, I think, and needed, meaningful thing. So I'm not much of a speaker. I'm more of a visual person. So what I'm going to do is just turn these things around and you'll see first, second, and third. But most importantly, I'd like for 2 people here to stand up and turn around and get some applause because they're the ones that did the work. Out of 50 or 60 different designs, Nick Caro and Samantha Silva, turn around. Nick's logo is the one on the left. It's a circular mark, and Samantha's is second and third, the center and the one on the right. So I don't want to take this time to turn it into a design lecture. I would just like for you to remember all the hard work that DCAD students do and in their time here before they transfer off to other schools. They work, as Stuart Barron so eloquently said, they work really, really hard when they're here, and they very much appreciate the thing that Wilmington is for DCAD. Thank you very much for coming, and thanks for admiring their work.
Well, thank you, DCAD students and faculty and Stuart for hosting us. Thanks for turning out, and let's go actually put this money to work. Thanks very much.